House Dynasty Show and our 2025 first round NFL draft coverage. We are in on pick 11. Colston Loveland just went to the Bears ahead of Tyler Warren. So that's the way the Bears decided to roll. Let me get this up here on the screen. Of course, we had Cam Ward go number 1 to the Titans. Then Travis Hunter go number 2, but not to the Cleveland Browns, to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll get into that shortly, the trade. Then Abdul Carter went number 3 to the Giants as expected, sort of. Will Campbell, nice tackle, going to the Patriots for Drake May. And then the Browns, who traded back, got Mason Graham. And then, of course, our crown jewel in the dynasty space, Ashton Genty out of Boise State, going to the Raiders. Yes. All right. Here we go. We're live. Yes. Let's get this. Okay. So next up is the 49ers. We had Membo, the tackle out of Missouri, go to the Jets. Ted McMillan going to the Carolina Panthers. Now we just had Mikael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia, going to the Niners. Ahead of that was Kelvin Banks, the tackle, going to the Saints. And Colston Loveland to the Bears. Yes. All right. So we are live, ready for any of your questions, thoughts on the draft so far. Go ahead and fire away. Here we go. There we go. All right. So let's see here. Kel Williams. Next up, we've got. Let's bring up the draft tracker here. Take me a second. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Here we go. The Cowboys are on the clock. Do the Cowboys go wide receiver, offensive lineman, running back? Lots of options here for the Cowboys. Not one in particular that seems best. I don't know. We'd all love to see him grab a wide receiver, of course. But who knows which way Jerry Jones is leaning. I'm going to say not a running back. Okay. Here we go. There it is. They went guard. They went with the guard from Bama. Hey, I don't blame them. Cowboys need to start improving that line, and this is one way to do it. How do we feel about Loveland to the Bears? Not shocked that he went ahead of Warren. It's better than going to Indy, if that's what. The comp for Loveland, many people comp Laporta to Loveland. So, uh, uh, okay. How is Twitter talking about Loveland, huh? This guy. Oh, man. So the Cowboys bring in an O-lineman. I think that they got to be happy about it. I know as a DAC owner and CD owner in many leagues, I have absolutely no problem with it, that's for sure. And they're going to go running back probably later. Round 2, my feeling is the best bet there would be it would be I think Trey Harris. I'm going. Dig, what's up? Rubber banding, bro. Rubber banding. I'm not sure what that means, but Dig, if you can elaborate on that, that would be great. Let's see here. Oh, well, I'm just getting ready for my Buccaneers to pull up for their pick. Here we go. Had a little family dinner tonight, folks. Sorry for the late start, but it happens. All right. So next up we have the who is 13? I cannot remember. All these middling picks. Like we had the first 10 picks memorized and the last 10 picks. These middle. Here we go. Okay, it's the Dolphins. Yes. Their pick is in. What are we thinking for the Dolphins? If they want to go a skill player, I could see them maybe going wide receiver. Doubtful they'd go Tyler Warren here. So they're definitely not going to go. I don't think they're going running back. So I don't think we need to worry about that. They could, I guess, with Tyreek's situation, but I doubt we're seeing, a Luther Burden or something like that going here at 13. The Dolphins definitely could use O-line help. Otherwise, it'll be some edge rusher, defensive player. That's my thought. They're going defense. And then next up, we've got the Colts, who obviously heard Tyler Warren go in there many, many times in mocks pre-draft. Will Johnson, Hergot? Yeah, I could see that for sure. Will Johnson, somebody who I had seen going as high as pick 5 to the Jaguars pre-draft. So I think that would definitely fit a need there for the Dolphins. Of course, good cornerbacks. You never can have enough of those. To me, defensive back is like the most injured position in football, just because you're chasing around the most talented players on the field, the wide receivers, right? And you've got a ton of speed, so you're already tightly wound. Then your job is to, so you got to try and stop them from catching the ball. Then your job is to somehow try and bring these guys down. Um, if you want to be labeled as a hard-nosed cornerback or defensive back, you've got to tackle all the time. So there's another threat to injury. So I just think that, defensive back's one of the tougher spots to play that really doesn't get much credit. Like it's a thankless position, honestly. I mean, every once in a while you're going to get that, you know, that moment where you get the right interception, but for the most part, nobody makes a huge deal about a pass deflection, right? Oh, let's see here. So the Dolphins added Zach Wilson and Alexander Madison this offseason. Forgot about Madison going there. You like Hunter going to the Jags at 2 with the trade. Oh, yeah. So let's recap here. Let's go back to that trade. I'm sorry. I was just following on my phone kind of. I missed what the Browns all got in return. I know that they got the 5th pick, obviously, but I'm guessing they got a future first. I would hope. I don't know. But, yeah, I'll say this. I don't think it's any different for Hunter. Other than that, I think he's still going to play a lot of wide receiver. It's no different for Hunter than what we had been looking at him prior to going to Cleveland. Jacksonville isn't a spot that I see him necessarily. So you got Brian Thomas there already, right? So he doesn't have to play as much offense as he would have had to benefit the Browns taking him. All right, now the fact that they paid up for him, it makes me think that he's gonna 3 firsts for him. I mean, wow. I mean, the 36 isn't a first, but it's close enough. Jeez. Yeah, if I'm Cleveland, that's a nice haul. You get Mason Graham still, and then you get another pick in the 2nd round, plus Jacksonville's pick next year, which isn't like guaranteed to be a late pick. So Miami took a D tackle, solid pick for them. So yeah, Hunter for me, I'm probably gonna ease off the pedal on the picking them at the 102, 103 range. I like initially. I'm feeling until we hear more. I'm gonna slide Ted McMillan ahead of him. Cleveland gave up the 2nd and the 4th or 3rd this year. You got a Ford. Jerome Ford? Is that what it is? Ford? Or 4RD? Oh, I hear you. It shows here. Jags trade. So for right now, depending on where Igbuka falls, Igbuka was 3. Um, so they got the number 2 and a 4th and a 6th from the Browns. So the Browns using their extra draft capital here. They went back to number 5, got a 2nd rounder and a 4th rounder. So they swapped 4ths and a 26 first from Jacksonville. Okay, so good deal for the Browns as a team, right? I mean, I know that there was a lot of excitement and hope there for Travis Hunter to them. A lot of people were magically creating this Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders marriage reuniting in Cleveland. That's not going to happen now. But, we'll see where the quarterbacks do go. There's Tyler Warren and his hands. This guy, Colts didn't take long to grab him. So there's the disappointment of the draft for us. Yep, Warren to Indy. Steve, yeah. Again, this could be like last year when Brock Bowers went to the Raiders. Now, with the Raiders last year, at least he had a couple of gunslingers that were throwing him the ball. They might not have been great quarterbacks, per se, but they like to sling it. All right. Matt English should try and get in here. Okay. So now the question, Loveland or Warren first? I'm saying Loveland, okay? I'll put that down. No problem. The passing volume with Caleb Williams versus Anthony Richardson / Daniel Jones is no contest for me. Now, I will note, though, I was listening to Shane's show the other night, and from Shane says, and he did note that Daniel Jones, while he had Evan Engram, actually threw 19% of the time to tight ends versus Indianapolis's 11% target share for tight ends last season. So if Daniel Jones does come to the helm, that may be some sign of hope for Warren. But for me, what this means is I likely am going to be passing on Tyler Warren for another tight end in the upcoming, in the second tier, right? The Elijah Arroyo, Mason Taylor, Harold Fannin tier. If you want to throw Terrence Ferguson into there, fine. But if I really want a tight end, okay. Again, I did an episode a couple nights ago talking about my tight end rankings and how with the hit rates and the WAR charts with the tight ends, and especially the upper tier tight ends, I was putting Loveland and Warren somewhere in between Laporta and Kincaid, basically. And at that WAR, it's really not worth this early of a round pick when you are talking first round picks in our rookie drafts. So Loveland, though, Loveland's a decent bet. I still probably will not look to grab him until the late first. Okay. Warren may be a great player, but I don't know. I guess I'm just not going to end up with a whole lot of Tyler Warren on my teams. Put it that way. But who knows? Who knows how the community views it? I don't think that. I think that a lot of people are probably disappointed in this landing spot. Meanwhile, Colson Loveland, it's pretty solid, right? I mean, yes, Cole Kmet is there, but let's face it, Kmet left something to be desired out there, right? I mean, he'd have his moments, but he's really nothing more than what Cade Otton is in Tampa, right? And, you know, I have no problem with Otton. He's solid. He shows up. But, hey, Warren now? Oof. I don't even know who to comp him to. But I'm not going to bet on him being the tight end one this year, okay? Loveland would have more of a chance of doing that just by sheer passing volume in Chicago versus Indianapolis. All right, because Indy is definitely going to be one of the bottom 10 in pass attempts in the league, and Chicago's probably going to be in the top 10 in pass attempts. So, yeah. All right, so next up here, we've got, bring up the old trusty draft tracker here. All right, folks, who do we think after Atlanta here, who grabbed cornerback? Or no, they didn't pick that guy. Sorry, they were showing Colt, the Kentucky cornerback. I guess I thought they drafted him. That's what you get for having it on mute. But Atlanta, yeah, I guess they could go like a Luther Burden, but I doubt it. They need defense. They need it bad. And so Matthew Golden, maybe. You know, I just don't feel it for Atlanta. They could though. I don't know. They're gonna go defense, I think. It'd be the smart play for them, in my opinion, at least. All right. Atlanta. D-line, corner, and O-line. I guess they could go O-line. That would be a good move as well. Just no skill players, that's all. I don't think we're getting a skill player here. The next skill player up for us to get excited about here could be the Cardinals. Now the pick is in. Matthew Golden has been rumored to the Cardinals here and there. Then you got the Bengals. I doubt they go skill player. Seahawks, probably not. Tampa, probably not. Then Denver. So we've got possibilities here with the Cardinals coming up, and then we might have to wait for picks to Denver. And then we get the excitement. Denver, Pittsburgh, and the Chargers in a row. That's where I'm really interested to see the picks come in. All right. There's Arthur Blank. He's got his guy. And who did they go with? I hate this lull in between the pick is in and waiting for Roger Goodell to finally walk his sweet ass across the stage to make the announcement here. Let's go, Roger. There he is. Who do we got? I'm going cornerback. linebacker out of Georgia. Jalen Walker. Nice pick. That was one of the guys I had my eyes on with Tampa. Yeah, there's his comp, Dante Hightower. Awesome linebacker for years with the Patriots. Yeah, this guy can play ball. Real quick first step. Yeah. Howie Roseman is disappointed he couldn't land this guy. Oh, man. All right. So who's the next skill player taken? What do you guys think out there? Who's the next skill player that we get to see here? Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked with Matthew Golden here going to the Cardinals, even though personally I like Luther Burden more, and I think actually, but that's just me. I mean, I'm no NFL scout. I don't know that, like, if they want a true X so that they can. No. This. So, if the Cardinals don't go wide receiver here, I think that you got to look at Denver, the Chargers, Packers are the next three teams that could go wide out here. You know, Denver's looking at Omarion Hampton. Steelers could be as well. I just don't think they will pick them because they don't have a second rounder, so I don't know that they'll go running back first round. Chargers could go running back or wide receiver. But of course they could go. The Chargers are pretty well set everywhere that they could wait. They really could draft anything. And the Packers are likely eyeing up a defensive player, as usual for the Packers. Here we go. Goodell is at the podium, and it is Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. Good player. D-tackle, solid pick for the Cardinals. There we go. These D-tackles are going to be flying off here. A lot of talent there in the first two rounds at D-tackle and edge rushers in this draft. So we've all, in fantasy world, been talking about the running backs and even the tight ends. But D-line is where it's at as well. And with everybody seeing on display, full display there at the Super Bowl, what the Eagles D-line was able to do, I think that, teams took notice to that and what they were able to do to the Chiefs. So I think that we're going to see everybody trying to get at least their hands on one D-line edge rusher type player here in the first two rounds. It's smart. You play to the strength of the draft. Don't just reach on somebody because that's a position of need, right? How often do we say that in fantasy, right? It's no different. No different in real life either. You have excess talent at one position, well, that's your strength then, right? It was why I was saying with Tennessee, I thought, man, give Levis another whirl, but grab Abdul Carter and make your D-line the strength of your team. Like right now, the Titans have so many holes everywhere. I don't know what their strength is, and I don't know that, like, Cam Ward just to me is not a difference maker that's going to put them over the top, right? I mean, I don't think he's any better than C.J. Stroud, so like I'd be shocked if he puts up numbers like Stroud did his rookie season. So Yeah, I mean, but Tennessee went their way. You know, they earned that 101, and they felt they needed to go the quarterback route. They've got a good offensive mind there. I know that they struggled this last season, but I think that um, Callahan is a good offensive mind coming from the Bengals. I don't think it was just all Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Like, it's easy to say, yeah, I'm sure they were good. You know, Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland's the same way. Like, he came from Minnesota, and they had tons of talent there, and he's a good offensive mind. I think we've gotten a lot of poor quarterback play in Cleveland, so we'll see if they address that at all in this draft. Um, Still got the big quarterbacks other than Cam Ward. Still looking to see where better yet at this point. Now that Genty's gone, okay. Strength of this class, of course, is the running back position. Where do you want, not where do you think necessarily, but where do you want to see Omarion Hampton go? Because I think he should be the next running back taken. Nothing against Travion Henderson or Judkins or Caleb Johnson. I just think that Hampton is the best all around back of them. Travion Henderson closely behind him there. Look at that massive crowd. That's nice. Nice showing there up in Lambeau, the Packer faithful. I'd say it's probably 75% Packers fans, at least. All right. Ooh. Where are we going, Cincinnati? Colin, you in the house? Where you at? Who we going here? There's Shador. We know he's not going there. There we go. I'm asking our Bengals insider there, Big Colin. What's up, buddy? What you got for me? All right. Next up is Seattle, and then my Buccaneers. The anticipation is just shocking. We're halfway through here, about 2 hours in, and yeah, the Bengals busy off season. You've got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase getting their contract extension. One of them, if one another just went defense. right, right. Yeah, we gotta wait for Goodell to walk onto the stage. Yeah, we gotta wait for Goodell to walk onto the stage. Um, yeah, where do you guys think Omarion Hampton's gonna land? Hmm? Where do you want him to go? Where do you think he'll land? That's the big question right now to me. Then we've got Egbuka, possibly Golden. Those are the next big question marks for us, aside from the quarterbacks, of course. Can't see Seattle going quarterback, though. Not with what they just paid. Not with what they just paid Darnold. Not that it was a king's ransom, but I don't think they're going that route. Her guy says it's still freezing up. All right, let me try backing out here. There we go. Hopefully that helps. I'm not sure. I haven't had too many lagging issues here, but I can understand your frustrations out there, guys. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. All right, so the Seahawks decided to help protect Sam Darnold there, made an investment in Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State, finding a Dakota boy. All right, here we go. It's the Bucks, and we're up. I am hoping for Jihad Campbell from Alabama. That is who I like. I don't mind it if we go Will Johnson at corner either. Those are the two guys I am eyeing up right now. Okay. All right. So let's go. Let's see here. Go. Oh, this is too. I can't see us picking wide receiver. All right, we're not going running back. No quarterback. It's all defense for me. Excuse me. I wouldn't be pissed if we take an offensive lineman, but I think we could go on any level of the defense, and I'll be happy. I want all three of our first three picks to be defense. One D line, one linebacker, one D back. That's what I want to see. Okay. All right. waiting for it to get back. I don't know. Which which telecast are you guys watching it on? I'm watching it on the NFL Network. I don't know. Um, I don't think that has anything to do with my any problems here. But let's see. Any better, guys? Is it still lagging? Are you or glitching? Um, just curious. After Tampa, then we get Denver, Steelers, and the Chargers, where the exciting offensive spots for us, fantasy wise, for sure. Okay. Here we go. I just want some speed on our defense. Okay, Jason looked in the boys. What do they come up with? What do we got? Definitely not Shooter Sanders. You don't need to show him. Wouldn't be shocked if he ends up falling to round 2, but okay, Dion. And now they have to talk about Shador. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, again, Omarion Hampton to Denver. That would be just lovely for all of us, I think. All right. Come on, Goodell. Let's see it. Oh my God, we took it, Buka. Wow. 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 Unbelievable. That is shocking. Hey, I love the guy, and he is like a spitting image of Chris Godwin to me, but it's shocking, especially with Jalen McMillan's. Whew. Well, more weapons for Baker. I love it. On offense. Offense is, you know, it's the way of the league now. But with the way Philly played last year, I really would have loved to see a defensive player, I'll be honest. And I like Igbuka. Now, this landing spot for Igbuka is not exactly exciting for him. 2 years down the road, yes. But, I mean, we've still got a year or two of Evans and Godwin, so, like, man, and I love this kid. He is a baller. Very smart, interviewed well with everybody. He had a couple 1,000-yard seasons his sophomore and senior year. This is a guy who could have come out last year and been probably taken just behind Brian Thomas at wide receiver. So he would have been in that, Lad McConkey range, because that's pretty much where I see him talent wise, is being able to be, right with what Lad McConkey did last season. Now in Tampa, can he do that? All I know is we got quite the arsenal with Evans, Godwin, McMillan, and Igbuka. Well, we're making sure that our wide receiver room is full. That's for sure. One injury at wide receiver ain't going to hurt us. Wow. That is shocking. Honestly. Just answering somebody, Fossboss here, asking me how the trade is. Well, one less player for the one less wide receiver for the Packers to select, I guess. Oh boy. All right, so now do we get Omarion Hampton to the Broncos? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh man, I'm surprised at that Igbuka pick. It really is surprising. I have to imagine, though, the reaction around everywhere to the Igbuka pick is similar to what we saw with Brock Bowers last year. And so, Igbuka being young, this is going to be a pick that you make, not for immediate impact, but for future impact a year or two from now. Because Igbuka, to me, is definitely, the third best wide receiver in this class behind Hunter and Tet. I would go Igbuka, and so when the Bucks have to move on from Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they now have Igbuka and Jalen McMillan to take over. And with any injuries that happen between Evans and Godwin, then you've got Igbuka and or McMillan to step in and play that role. They're keeping the coffin full, though, the cupboard full for Baker, that's for sure. So I think initially a little downgrade for Igbuka, but Baker, what can I say, Dan? Baker gets a little bit of a bump again. And there he is. I hope oh man, we better go defense with 3 straight picks now. All right, Denver's pick is in. Are they going Amari and Hampton or not here? Ooh. One second, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, everybody. Sorry about that. I just had to make sure my son was going to bed. Got to see who he took, and he's excited about a wide receiver. It's hard not to be. Okay, so we've got the Denver Broncos here. Is it? No, they go cornerback. Ooh. Well, they're helping their team out, but not helping the fantasy landscape out. But I can't blame them. I mean, with all the running back talent in this class, it honestly, other than Hampton, it's really hard for me to see a third running back going in the first. And Hampton might have to wait until the beginning of the second to see his name taken, especially now, because I just don't see Pittsburgh doing it. I don't see Pittsburgh doing it because they don't have a second rounder. The Chargers, maybe. And then we've got Minnesota. Could see Minnesota. I don't think Houston would do it. Washington, maybe. Kansas City, maybe. So there's the good thing for Hampton here is he hopefully goes at the end here. Otherwise, he's going to a weaker team at the top of the second, and so his touchdown total would go down, right? And touchdowns ultimately are what makes running backs elite, no doubt. I mean, look at Saquon last season, right? He went from the Giants, where he was obviously not getting the kind of holes that he got, but not anywhere near the kind of red zone opportunities, right? So he went from an offense that scored about 2 touchdowns a week to to 3+ touchdowns a game, right? So a lot more opportunities, regardless of Jalen Hurts' tush push. Saquon still made it in the end zone a double-digit times last year. Oh, let's see here. Does Pittsburgh go quarterback? This is the pick. Is he going? Are they going with Shador? There's the black and gold. they already had one exciting addition this offseason in DK Metcalf. Do they give him a quarterback here in the draft, or are they holding out hope for Aaron Rodgers? One of the more anticipated picks in this first round here. Pittsburgh Steelers. Who are they bringing home? All right, Goodell. They should like time him or something going to the podium. This guy getting paid enough. Show a little hustle. No, D tackle. There it is. Steelers were watching the Eagles. Hey, can't blame him. This guy's a beast in the middle. This is somebody who, at some point, Cam Hayward is going to have to hang it up, and this kid is a Pittsburgh Steeler all over him. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me at all. Aaron Rodgers, welcome to Steel Town. Rodgers to Pittsburgh, everybody. What do you think? What are we thinking out there, everybody? Oh man, let's see here. So now, what is Pittsburgh looking at? It's either going to be Rodgers. They don't have a second round pick. Like, it's Rodgers or Mason Rudolph at this point. Like, nobody's fallen to the third round that we getting excited over, right? I don't know. It's okay. I don't know why I can't see the other chat in here. See you guys going with. That's weird. I'm gonna back out and try and come back in because I don't see the chat. go. Okay, that's fine. I'll just close this. There we go. All right, so we didn't get Hampton there. Where do you guys think Hampton's going to go? Like, this pick to the Chargers, we'll see. Be interesting, that's for sure. That would crush a lot of people's hopes that didn't get rid of Najee. All right. So we've got the Chargers and then the Packers, of course. Who do you guys out there know? There's tons of Packers fans. Who do you want to see, Packers fans? Yeah, Najee just has a 1-year deal, so it wouldn't it wouldn't shock me that the Chargers take a running back early. This is one of the spots. And Hampton, he is a first round talent. I watched some of his games. I know it was one of them was against Florida State, which had a piss poor defense this past year. But that dude made it overly apparent that he was the number one player on the field, Hampton. Golden? You thinking Golden to the Packers? We'll see. I don't love Golden. I don't love any player, any wide receiver going to the Packers, but you know, it's possible. I think that being in Lambeau, I think that the Packers should do something to make the fans excited. Put it that way. Pick is in. Here we go. One of the other exciting spots we were looking at all off season. The LA Chargers. Are they going a skill player here, or are they leaning into the strength of the draft, the D line? Pierce Jr., Steve. Yeah, I can see that. Buccaneers took it. Anthony chimes in. Yeah, yes, we did. Uh, the Bucks. We stole what I was hoping a player that was going to go to a lot of other teams, but you know, I don't mind him down in Tampa because he's a hell of a player. I like Ibuka a lot. He could end up being you know, the best wide receiver out of this class. Because again, you know, Evans and Godwin are both winding down. Godwin isn't quite as old, but you know, coming off of that injury last year, I can understand the want for Ibuka, and Jason Lick was probably just going off of top talent on the board. So I don't hate it. I want to see defense the next 3 rounds, though. I'll say that for sure. All right, here we are. The Chargers pick is in. What do we have? Jim Harbaugh, Roman. There it is. Amari and Hampton. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. What a beast. This guy. Yes. Jonathan Taylor, perfect comp. There it is against the Knowles, right up the gut. He just bounces off of players. Great contact balance, and then the speed. I mean, this guy was the 13th best player at the combine in history. So, he is a beast. He's going to be for our fantasy lineups. And, man, that's a 1-2 punch in him and Najee Harris. It's scary. And now it is on the Packers. Who do you guys want right here? Who do you want? Yeah. All right. Who do we got, guys? Who's your pick? Are the Packers going to take a first-round wide receiver for the first time in 22 years since Javon Walker? They have not only just not taken a wide receiver, they haven't taken a running back or tight end in the first round. Now, don't see a running back going here. Now, they could take a running back earlier than some people think because that Josh Jacobs contract is not as long as most people think. There's a year, there's an out after every single season in that 4-year deal that they gave Jacobs. And you know, Emmanuel Wilson, Marshawn Lloyd, yeah, they could do better this year. It won't be hard to do better than those two. They could go down and grab somebody in the 5th round and they'll be better. There we go. Yes, it is getting nasty in Lambeau. They are pumped. whole population of Green Bay is literally now at Lambeau Field. I'm actually surprised that the stadium isn't filled as well as this, just all the way to the back. This looks like a concert at Castle Donington. Woodstock here. All right, I think the Packers go Will Johnson. That's who I think. Or Jihad Campbell. Those would be two good picks. That's what I'm saying. Tampa already made the pick that pissed everybody off tonight, so I don't think the Packers can get anybody more pissed off. Why don't you grab a quarterback, Shedeur Sanders? Let's see what the reaction is. Now, Jordan Love isn't a bad comp for Shedeur. That honestly is something that I see with Shedeur. But obviously they're not going that route here. Love's got to win an MVP first. Then they'll draft a quarterback the next year. Oh man, what do we got here? Come on, Packers, get that pick in. NFL's got to milk this though as much as they can. They want as much fun with this as they can get. Some guard from Carroll College. There you go, Mark. That's a quality assessment. I'm sure there's some guard from Carroll College that would love to play for the Packers. Although there are a lot of Bears fans here in Waukesha. What do we got here, Green Bay? Is the pick in yet? I'm going Will Johnson. Now, the Packers go wide receiver here, and it's almost as disappointing as Emeka Egbuka going to Tampa. This Packers wide receiver room is just as crowded. I mean, you're looking at it, and now, granted, Christian Watson's injured, so I could understand that. And Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are coming up on needing to be paid. But you got those two, then you've got Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wick's still there. Can't catch the ball, but he might get better this coming third season for him. But yes, Watson and Dobbs are going into the last years of their deals. Now, I don't know that Golden, I would say, is more talented than these other guys. And it's hard for me to say. Another wide receiver. I mean, they're not taking Luther Burden. Jeez. A couple of you guys in the chat, you want Golden. Here we go. Then you got the president and CEO in there to make the pick. Is he going to get cheered? Is he going to get booed? That's the big question here for the pack. All right, make the pick. Let's go, Mark. Come on. Thoughts on Hampton to the Chargers. Okay. So, this first year, you might see a little bit more Najee, but I mean, there's plenty of two back teams in the NFL, right? So, no, it doesn't worry me at all. Hampton may not lead the league in rushing this first year, but look at the two back systems. Detroit, um, where else? I mean, Tennessee was all right, but that wasn't the greatest. Matthew Golden, they went wide receiver. Oh my God. Well, that made everybody happy. The pressure this kid is. Oh, he has no idea. Wow. Golden. Oh boy. Well, it definitely helps out Jordan Love. This pick, I don't know where if I move Golden up in my rankings at all. I had Matthew Golden just behind Trey Harris. We'll see where Trey Harris lands. Just because he's a first round pick in the NFL doesn't necessarily make him move up or down on the board. You know, I mean, it's the same situation as Ibuka. They're going into crowded wide receiver rooms. Does Golden walk into the door as the most talented guy in the room? Yes. Okay. But he's also not going to steal touches from Jaden Reed. So this kid's going to walk in and he's going to have to step his game up. It helps definitely that Christian Watson is injured because Golden can play right away then. But again, this is the pros now. This is a guy who, for 2.5 years in college, really wasn't doing much producing wise. Now, that second half of last season, he definitely stepped things up, and he was producing for the Longhorns when it mattered most. So we'll see if Golden can continue. They already got his jersey there. Look at the kid. He is so jacked. Hey, that's good for him. Good for him. He made himself into a first round wide receiver. Brandon Cooks is a comp. That's not a bad one. Um, we'll see now if he can display more consistency. He might make it there. I don't know what the expectations are going to be rookie season, but he's gonna be on the field, and the pick sure as hell made a lot of fans happy tonight. Yeah, he's gotta learn the Go Pack Go chant there before he gets to do the Lambo leap. See, now that would have been something special if he would have leaped into the crowd. That I could respect. I want to see him body tossed across from front to back That would be something special. He's already got the gold grill on the bottom. All right, so we had our excitement there with a couple of picks. We still haven't seen a second quarterback go, though. Will some teams, specifically, I'm looking at you, Giants and Browns. Browns, you've got all that draft capital now to move back up into the first and go get your guy. Do you want Shadur? Do you want Jackson Dart? Are you just going to wait it out and let it, whatever falls to you, fall to you? That is the main question right now. With what we've got 8 picks left in the first round. So 9 picks, sorry. Vikings are on the clock and their pick is in, so they did not trade with anybody, and they're not going they're not going quarterback. Could they go running back? Maybe. Aaron Jones is good, but he's old, and Aaron Jones is definitely not a back. He's always been a complimentary back, right? A very good one, mind you, and but he's never carried the whole load. He's not built that way. So do they grab a Travion Henderson or a Quinshon Judkins? I could see either of them working out well. Let's see what we have. Because whoever gets picked here is getting booed. That's for sure. Donovan Jackson. They went line. There you go. Poor guy's getting booed. They have no idea who he is. Oh, man. I'll tell you this much: the way things are lining up, I would not move down Hampton. I think Hampton is the 102. All right. Hunter scares me a little in Jacksonville. So I think Tet, though, in Carolina is very nice. Okay. So I kind of like him at the 103. Then maybe Cam Ward at 104, Hunter 105. But what's happening here, if you haven't noticed, what's happening is that nobody's taken another quarterback yet. So Dart and Shadur, their value is possibly falling, as did Egbuka and Golden's value already, because they're going into crowded wide receiver rooms. So you got 4 guys right now whose value is dropping. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see if somebody moves up to grab a. There you go, Steve. Giants just traded up to 25. Boom. They're getting their guy, Jackson Dart. I'm saying it right now. It's going to be Jackson Dart. No. Foss. Dion's got to wait a day. He's going second round. Dart. Yes, sir. It's going to be Dart. So what do you guys... All right, we'll make sure the pick is in for Dart, but that's going to be it. Brian Dable already said that Dart's his man. And for him to land him at 25, it's nice. Real nice. They got Abdul Carter at 3. and now they're going to land expectedly Jackson Dart, and with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston there already, there's going to be no pressure to start Dart right out the gate. I love it though for Malik Neighbors. You've got a more solid looking quarterback room right now. I think that Wilson and Winston will be battling it out in camp for potentially who starts week one. The other will get cut, and they'll have Dart there waiting in the wings, who probably will be the QB3 for a couple weeks. And they'll have another guy like, you know, Tommy Cutlets or whoever as his as the QB2. But I don't think that I don't think they're going to hang on to both of those guys, Wilson and Winston, with those contracts. I think that one of them will wind up somewhere else. Yeah, Steve. That's from Brian Dable. I mean, he already stated that Dart was his guy. No, I mean, the Jaguars did trade up and not take a quarterback, so who knows? But nah, this is the way it's leaning right now. We're gonna see Dart. There's Golden showing to the crowd. Yeah, he's got to understand the pressure he's getting. All right, so the Texans moved back. They ended up getting an extra second and third plus a 26th third. Don't hate it. No, don't hate it. They got extra picks now. Now they can grab a running back in the second or third round for sure. Be Mixon's understudy. Shadur's laughing it up, thinking he's going to be the guy, but I don't know. One playoff win for the Giants since their Super Bowl win in 2011. That is a long time. Still have a much more recent, two more recent Super Bowls than the Cowboys. 3 Super Bowl appearances. All right, so let's lock this in. It's going to be Jackson Dart here. Then the question will be, does somebody trade up for Shadur to get him in the first round? And who would that be? Does Cleveland? Does Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh, I don't know what they'd have to. Pittsburgh would have to give up too much, in my opinion. And then you got the Saints, too. So, I don't know. Jihad Campbell sliding down that board. Look at that Giants helmet. That's badass. Big NY. All right. Who do we got here for the G-Men? There it is. Jackson Dart. Oh boy. Oh, the Falcons have traded up for the 26th pick now. They gonna grab Shadur here? Have a little battle with Penix and Cousins? Nah, I think that the Falcons may be trading up for Jihad. You can't slide too much further. This is the guy who many now see as possibly the best quarterback in this class. And yeah, I think they're setting him up well for success. He's got a guy like Brian Dable who's worked with somebody like Josh Allen in the past. Dart has a little bit of Josh Allen in him. I compare him a little more to a Justin Herbert, but my co-host Matt English earlier today likened him to Josh Allen, and that's what, again, Brian Abel was able to turn into gold. So let's see here what the Falcons traded up for. Got just 7 picks left in the first round. Yes, there is that quarterback room. Wilson, Winston, now Dart, along with Tommy Cutlets. And again, I think that between Wilson and Winston, one of those guys will probably not make it through camp, but we'll see. Who knows? I guess I just can't see one of those veterans being the QB3. Yeah, there it is, Kurt Warner letting everybody know he wants a guy that can move. And Winston isn't that so much. Russell Wilson can still move a little, but he can't sling it like Jackson Dart, that's for sure. Great move by the Giants here. Love it. And so, Jackson Dart, where do we place Jackson Dart now in our drafts? Eh? Does anybody dare move him up near Cam Ward? He's got Malik Neighbors, that's a hell of a lot better weapons. Just himself is a lot better weapons than what Cam Ward's got. Calvin Ridley. So, Jackson Dart is going to be up those boards, that's for sure. Falcons going Campbell or Will Johnson. Yeah, I agree, Foss Boss. I think that's what they're moving up for. Here's that trade with the Rams. So the Rams landed the Falcons' second rounder. The Falcons got back the Rams' third round. So it wasn't terrible there. See what they grab. I don't want them going too much defense here, the Dirty Birds. But I think that's the route they're going. And they're going to grab somebody good between Jihad Campbell or Will Johnson. I love both of those guys. But there it is. Jimmy Pierce Jr., nice pick. Don't hate that one either. Good first round for the Falcons. All right, so back to the Amari Hampton thing. Yes, Najee Harris is there, but again, he's got a 1-year deal. Hampton's coming in there. He's the young stud. Yeah, it might take a few weeks, and don't get me wrong, Najee Harris is the type of running back that, he walks in the room and that's his running back room. That's the type of presence he brings. He's a good blocker, everything, all 3 downs, but that's the same type of running back that Amari Hampton is, just faster. So Hampton at some point will take over the load. Again, I don't see Hampton as somebody that's going to end up, leading the league in rushing this year. But, it just makes that backfield dangerous, man. Marion Hampton's skill set is nearly identical to Najee Harris. Again, he's just quicker and faster right now. Najee looks like he's running in cement all the time. That's not Hampton. Hampton, I love the Jonathan Taylor comp that they gave him, uh, and the NFL Network did. That's very similar. So again, you could see something like what happened with Jonathan Taylor his rookie season, where he started out slow, but then by that second half of the season, he was winning leagues. That second half, and yeah, this is the kind of grinder, Marion Hampton, that Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh envisioned when they took over in LA together. All right, so now we're up to pick 27. Ooh, yeah. Let's see here. Now the question is, does Shedeur get taken in the first? Ooh-ee. This is spicy stuff here. I mean, he's not going to any of these four teams left, right? So, or those are the next four up. I mean, there's 6 picks left. I'm just saying. Okay, so we've got Chad. You think the Ravens go another stud defensive guy? Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, they're not going to take a running back. I doubt it. I can't see that. Wide receiver, maybe they could go that route. Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins even has been rumored in the first. So the next 3 picks we've got here: Ravens, Lions, Commanders, Bills. We could see, I think, 2 wide receivers go in this cluster. Any 4 of these teams, really, realistically, and you could throw the Chiefs into that mix. Any of those 5 teams are live for taking a wide receiver here. None of them are going quarterback, but they're all fielding offers right now for Shedeur Sanders and even possibly Jalen Milroe. Because you better believe that the Browns are shopping all those draft picks they have now. Adam Kindred just asks, tell me about the whole draft. All right. So, Kindred, tune into the show right now, and we'll run it down real quick. Okay, so we had Cam Ward up top. Then the Jaguars move up and grab Travis Hunter at 2. Browns move down to 5. Then we had Ted McMillan. Actually, no, Genty went where he was going to go all along, to the Raiders. Great landing spot. So Genty is solidified as the 101, right? Hunter Going to the Jaguars with Brian Thomas there really helps Trevor Lawrence out, that's for sure. But then we've got Ted McMillan going to the Panthers. Love the spot. Love it for Bryce Young. Love it for Tet. He should see tons of targets. He fits David Canales, Mike Evans' role there. Now, after that, we had, let's see, through the teens, there was no other wide receivers until the Buccaneers picked at 19 and blew everybody away by taking Emeka Egbuka. Great wide receiver, not a great landing spot for his first, maybe second season, but by seasons 3 and 4, Egbuka is a type of dude. I said it all off season. It reminds me of Chris Godwin. Now he gets to learn from the man himself. So Egbuka is an investment in the future, both for Tampa and for your dynasty teams. It's not going to happen right away, barring injury. Now, after that, you had the First, Omarion Hampton went to the Chargers at pick 22. Then at 23, the Packers went ahead and made everybody happy and took Matthew Golden, first wide receiver taken for the Packers in 22 seasons. So that's the quick recap. We just had the New York Giants now move up back into the first round and nab their guy, Jackson Dart. So he'll be slinging it to Malik Neighbors for the next however many years. It will not be Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders and his pops, Dion, still waiting on the sidelines. We'll see if he actually goes in the first. Malachi Starks, stud defensive back, safety from the Georgia Bulldogs. He goes to the Baltimore Ravens. Not a shock there. That is total Ravens pick. Next up, we've got who is it? Not the Lions. Oh yeah, it is the Lions, right? Let me see. Yes, Lions are on the clock. All right. Hergot, who you got? Who you taking? Going another running back? You guys need to replace Craig Reynolds? I'm sure Travion Henderson would look nice. Now, rumor is that Jameson Williams was on the block, so that's where I'm coming up with the possibility that the Lions were to take a wide receiver. Now, they have not traded JMO yet, so I kind of doubt that that is coming to any sort of fruition. However, will the Lions trade back right now? Are the Browns looking to move up into the first? That's what we have for this storyline here with the last 5 or so picks here in the first round, because you move up into the first round, you get that extra year, and that definitely helps quarterbacks more so than maybe any other position by getting an extra 5th year for the quarterback by having them taken in the first round. So I think that we can expect somebody to try and do that, maybe even twice, because Jalen Milroe definitely is a quarterback that needs a little development with his arm. Again, I've likened him all off season to Jalen Hurts. This goes way back to September, and it's not just the Alabama factor there. Jalen Hurts is somebody who ran a lot at Alabama, ran at Oklahoma his last season. I don't know if he got as many touchdowns as Jalen Milroe, though. Milroe ran for 700 some yards, ran a 4.37 40, and ran for 20 touchdowns this last season with Alabama. Some scouts have said he is the best pure running quarterback since Lamar Jackson. So that's saying a hell of a lot. Now, Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts are a little different in their running styles as quarterbacks. Hurts with a little more power, Jackson with more elusiveness. Milroe kind of is a combination of both, honestly. He's very exciting. He can throw the long ball, just not too accurate over the middle and with those intermediate routes. So that's why I think he would benefit definitely from a 5th year. So we'll see if Milroe ends up going here. I don't know if anybody's going to trade up for him, but I definitely could see somebody trading up for Shador. Like I said, Shador definitely has some Jordan love in him. I can see that. He's very accurate, poise in the pocket, but he did take a little too many sacks for my liking. A lot like Caleb Williams. He had poise in the pocket, but then he would extend the play too long, like, you know, spread it out. Jackson Dart actually progressed through his reads and made the throw rather than taking off. And Shador didn't even take off; he just ate it. So that's why I think scouts have cooled on him, and we'll see here if anybody actually makes a move and trades up for Shador here. They're sitting in the green room waiting, as is Jalen Milroe. The NFL invited them both. No, they were inviting Shador the whole time. Um, but maybe they should have planned a little party there like Jackson Dart did. Now Jackson Dart looks like a hero. All right. Got Sam Green to the Lions. Does Hunter play both sides of the ball? I think so. I think that's the plan. What remains to be seen is which side of the ball he plays more. And that is up to Liam Cohen to decide. I know that early on in mocks, Jacksonville had been looking for Will Johnson out of Michigan in the corner. And so, they got both there. They got a good corner and a good wide receiver out of trading up. They paid a pretty penny, but I think that they're going to play on both sides of the ball, Adam. Yes, I think he'll play both sides of the ball as much as possible. They're going to get their money's worth out of that number 2 pick. I think out of the gate they're going to try it and see how it works. That'd be my take on it. Now, do you still take Travis Hunter before Ted McMillan or after him now? That is the ultimate question, and that is ultimately up for y'all to decide. Me personally, I slightly would move him, I think, slightly behind Ted with these landing spots. But man, is it enticing to take Travis Hunter. Guy is so talented. Could be looking, years from now we can be looking back at it and like, why would you not just take the guy? Why did you not take him? Right? He's an all-world talent. We've never seen a talent like Travis Hunter. You have to keep that in mind. So, it's such an exciting pick to make. Well, they went D-tackle, did the Lions. Out of Ohio State, Tyleik Williams, solid player. Question here is, the Browns are the team to do it if anybody's going to. And now the Browns, I believe, what pick do they have in the second? Let me look up round 2. So I'm trying to remember. Now, did they get to the Jaguars second? I think they got the Jaguars second round pick in that deal. So they're going to have 2 picks right up top in the second round. Just trying to see now who picks at the beginning of the second. But this NFL draft tracker is, okay, there we go. All right, Washington's on the clock. We got Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philadelphia afterwards. Washington is in play for a wide receiver here, so you've got Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins maybe Jalen Noel. I don't know that they're first round talents. All those guys are pretty much I hit second round grades on, but definitely in play, as is Buffalo and Kansas City for a wide receiver. Eagles, it'd be surprising. I mean, just the way their offense is run, they don't really need a big time guy as their third wide receiver, and they love to go in the trenches anyway. We know that, and this is a defensive tackle loaded draft, so I expect them to go that route. Now, second round for the beginning of tomorrow. See if it'll load up for me. This is taking forever. Let me see if I can find another site here that'll give me. The second round draft order. Okay, so the Browns pick right up top, and they have the fourth pick in the second round coming up tomorrow. So there'll be some fireworks from Cleveland, and we'll see right now if they make a move to get up into that first round. They signed Joe Flacco in the offseason, traded for Kenny Pickett, but is that the route they want to go? Do they want to just go with Joe? We'll see. Washington is on the clock right now. Ooh, this is exciting stuff here. I want to see one more quarterback at least taken in the first round. I mean, this is really gonna hurt Shadour's stock if he doesn't go in the first round. Washington's pick is in, no trade. All right, Buffalo last year was willing to move back in this same situation. They moved back to the first pick in the second round, and they went and took Keon Coleman, if you remember. I'm trying to remember who they traded with last season to move up. Can't remember off the top of my head. Because there wasn't a quarterback that somebody moved up for. There was no quarterbacks at the end of the first round. They were all gone in the first, all 6 were taken in the first 12 picks. All right, Commanders' pick is in. Do they go wide receiver? Maybe running back? I know Travion Henderson would be a nice fit here. You've got Brian Robinson going into his 4th year, and Austin Eckler is old. Let's see. Nope. They went tackle out of Oregon. Ooh, nice. Helps out Jaden Daniels very well. 6'4", 311. Josh Connerly. To the Commanders. Now the Buffalo Bills are on the clock, and you better believe after what they did last season, this is ideal here for Cleveland to move up. Cleveland doing some moving and shaking draft day style. Of course, last night I had to go find Draft Day up on Netflix. Of course, classic movie, absolutely classic. Now, something with those trades was maybe a little unrealistic, but talking teams into that need, that can happen. Now, Cleveland's probably looking at it, and really the only benefit here for them to trade up is that 5th year that they would get contract-wise. So I can totally see it happening. And I forgot to mention the 2 tight ends. Yes. Colson Loveland to the Bears. Don't hate it. And then Tyler Warren, of course, to the Colts, which we all hate. So now his stock is moving down. Loveland probably jumps him in drafts. Honestly, I'll probably switch those two around. Loveland is definitely an adequate catcher. He's been comped to like Zach Ertz, so there's nothing wrong with that. Zach Ertz himself went into a situation where they had two tight ends, so over there in Philly. So yeah, I could see Loveland still producing even right out of the gate. He's just as good as Cole Kmet, if not better. And Ben Johnson went ahead and made the move to get this guy. So I think that he's gonna use him. He wants him to be his Sam Laporta. He didn't use this pick for nothing. They didn't go running back like some thought. They didn't try to move up and get Ashton Genty. They didn't grab Omarion Hampton there. That would have been a little early, I think, at 10. So Loveland, fair spot there at 10. And yeah, I like Loveland's situation a little bit more. Well, I like his situation more than Warren, and it's, I guess, just enough for me to take it. If you run down through the Colts' passing numbers last season and see their target share to the tight end, it's putrid. It was like 11%. It was well under 100 targets. I saw it on Shane Says a couple days ago. It was like 76 total targets to tight ends for the whole season. Okay, that would have to increase tremendously for Tyler Warren to pay off for you with the kind of draft capital you're going to have to use in your rookie drafts to take Tyler Warren. Now, who knows? The community may sour on the Bears landing spot as well with Cole Kmet there. So we'll see. But definitely both tight ends, not so good. All right. Are the Bills going to trade out? No. The pick is in. We may not see Shedeur Sanders at all go. That's going to be the big news for tomorrow morning. And that Jackson Dart went 25. All right, let's see here what's going on with the chat. Yeah, how about the Packers and Bucks both taking wide receivers? Yeah, I don't love it for either guys, honestly, dynasty wise. Ibuka's still a very solid receiver, as I've mentioned. A number of times this offseason, just like Chris Godwin, and now he gets to learn it from the man himself. So it's interesting. Could pay off a couple of years down the road, but not this first season. All right, now the Bills are gonna pick here. Okay, got Tommy here to make the pick. Good to see this from Buffalo. Here we go, Buffalo. No trade out, no siree. They want their guy. Who is it? They want somebody that they don't want the Chiefs or Eagles to get. I can see wanting to take this guy ahead of the Chiefs, whoever it is. Maxwell Hairston, nice pick. Buffalo. Made sure they got him in the first round. Solid corner out of Kentucky. All right. Now it's on the Chiefs and Eagles to decide if they want to trade back with the Browns. Are the Browns going to bite? Okay. Gotta be excited. Gotta be excited for the kid. Going to a contender like Buffalo, I mean, I don't care if it's Buffalo or Green Bay or whatever, with a smaller town. When you're going into the NFL, you want to get in the action right away. It's nice going to a contender that makes it exciting. All right, so here's the story. We got Buffalo, Buffalo taking the corner. So now it's down to Kansas City and Philadelphia, the two Super Bowl teams, whether or not they will trade with Cleveland, so that Cleveland could get a quarterback and have a fifth year for them. Cleveland is sitting on the first and the fourth picks in the second round. So what's it worth to them to have that fifth year on a quarterback? You gotta figure Cleveland's gonna take the quarterback with the first or the fourth pick in the second round. Cleveland moved back earlier on. They had the number 2 pick, dropped down to the 5th pick, moving with the Jaguars. The Jaguars could select the two-way talent in Travis Hunter. And then the Browns went ahead and took Mason Graham, the stud defensive tackle from Michigan. Now, the Browns want to move back up into the first. Got a little bit of drama left here, hopefully. 2 picks to go. We're going to wrap this up pretty close to 11 o'clock. Not bad. Not bad. Last year, I think it dragged on to about the 11:30 mark, so it's good. Birdman's got to get up early. So there it is. Oh, the Eagles and Chiefs traded. That's too funny. Eagles just didn't want that 5th round pick. So who are the Eagles jumping with joy to grab here? Moving up 1 pick. And then will the Chiefs decide to move back 1 more pick with the Browns? Of course, we got a Jason Kelsey commercial. What could we be without a Jason Kelsey? Ay, ay, ay. All right, NFL. Enough with the commercials. Oh, time to find an Emeka Egbuka jersey, I guess, right? I don't know what number the kid's gonna wear. or number 2 for the Buckeyes. We'll see what route Ibuka decides to go with Tampa for his number. Anyway, I think this is be smart for the Browns to move up with all those extra draft picks. You got to think that they could give away a 5th rounder or something to move up. I don't know that the Chiefs are going to hold them to it. What would be absolutely hilarious is if they use the pick and actually take Jalen Milroe, not Shedeur Sanders. That'd be my take. That'd be hilarious. Oh man, gotta drag it on, don't they? Oh, so let's talk a little. What do you think of the running backs here? We got Genty to the Raiders and Hampton to the Chargers, both in the AFC West there, going up against the Chiefs. Is it enough? I mean, the Raiders are definitely a step below, but they added Geno. Got Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly coming there, bringing some excitement to Vegas. And then the Chargers nabbing the supremely talented Amari Hampton. I mean, I don't think that it's enough for Hampton to like outscore Genty year one, just from sheer volume with Najee Harris in the building still. But like, man, Hampton could see the end zone a lot. That's for sure. I know that Najee's a good goal line back too. He's all right, but Hampton, man, he's got a nose for the end zone. He had 15 touchdowns the last 2 years for the Tar Heels. Yeah, I love me some Amari Hampton. Let's see what Howie Roseman has up his sleeve this year. Look at those draft picks the last couple of years. He went bonkers on cornerbacks last year, both of them playing like absolute studs, coming with playoffs. Here you get the Eagles fans. Ooh, yay. All right, the pick is in, and we got the last pick of the night. Is there a clear Superflex 102? Okay, so that's interesting. Yes, I would say it's Hampton without a doubt for me. I mean, Jihad Campbell, look at this. Of course, Howie Roseman gets him. You know, that's just the kind of pick that keeps the Eagles where they are and makes me a little upset as a Tampa fan, honestly, because we could have had this kid. Just a stud. Oh, and the rich get richer, right? All right, what do the Chiefs have up their sleeve with this last pick? Yeah, Adam, I just don't love the quarterbacks. I know it's super flex, but that's my take on it, right? Cam Ward could become something great, but like I guess what's his ceiling to me? Jordan Love, um, that kind of he's just not. He doesn't have that explosive running ability. Okay, so in Superflex, unless you're getting one of those top four quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, uh, Jalen Hurts, you know that it's just you need to run the ball in order to jump into that elite tier of quarterbacks, and Lamar Jackson, right? Those guys have that special ability that gets you those extra points every week that helps that floor, right? So if you have a bad throwing day still, you get 40, 50 yards rushing and maybe add a touchdown, and boom, you're still in double digits, right? You have a bad game throwing the ball and you only have 12 yards rushing, well, I mean, you could end up with single-digit point weeks. It even happens to the best of them, like Joe Burrow. Now, Burrow has enough talent at wide receiver with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins that it more than makes up for it usually. But a lot of teams don't have that kind of talent. And Cam Ward, in particular, definitely doesn't have that kind of talent. Jackson Dart at least has Malik Neighbors, and they could add to that cupboard with the rest of this draft. We'll see. They made some trades and move up, so I don't know. They probably don't pick again until the third round, but they could definitely add a wide receiver to that cupboard. Is what I'm getting at. All right, so now the Chiefs are up. Do they decide to make that move? Last pick of the night. We're going to get out of here before 11 o'clock Central Time. Not too shabby, NFL. Like it. Don't get me wrong, I could sit here and stare at NFL picks all day, but I do have to get a little sleep. Yeah, kids got to be excited. I mean, come on. Going from Alabama, going to the Super Bowl winners. Yeah, staying on top, that's for sure. Now he's just got to be able to cut it. For some reason he fell. I don't know, maybe it's the position. I mean, teams were high on the D-line players. A lot of them went this first round. So as good as the running backs were in this draft, as good as even the wide receivers are, they're decent. Not like last year. Decent. Just not last year. The Browns did not move up because the pick is in for the Chiefs. We'll see what they grab here. What they gave up was Jihad Campbell. And what do the Chiefs have remaining? They must have had two guys on their board, and they said, yeah, you can have whichever one you want. Philadelphia, you just kicked our ass in the Super Bowl, but go ahead and take the guy that slid 18, 19 spots on the board. Man, I was happy to see him there sitting at 19, Jihad Campbell. Wish we grabbed him. It reminds me of when we took my boy Mike Evans here and we didn't take Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was the guy I wanted. Rams ended up getting him at like pick 13. There it is. The tackle from Ohio State. Josh Simmons definitely slid. Definitely slid. Good pick for the Chiefs. Here's a guy who will not get called for a holding penalty. Maybe not in his career. Now that he's a Kansas City Chief. And we get to leave it with that tonight. Again, we'll be back tomorrow night Hopefully we get tons of action within the running backs. Plenty of them left available. Just had Ashton Genty and Omarion Hampton go to good landing spots tonight. Next up, tomorrow night, we're looking at Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, and Caleb Johnson for some landing spots with them. Shedeur Sanders does not get picked in the first round. That will be the big headline for sure. So where does Shedeur end up going? He's sitting there right on the board for the Cleveland Browns at pick 1. Does it happen there? Do they let him fall even further? Where does Jalen Milroe go? And the rest of the wide receivers, we shall find out tomorrow night. Thank you for tuning in tonight in the Birdhouse. And remember, never stop working.